focus on the natural gas side of things. Nat gas, by the way, up 40% year to date, on pace for its third straight year of gains. Bring in Toby Rice, CEO of EQT, the largest natural gas producer in the States. Also, I think a guy who grew up in New England, still has families there. It's not the end of the world that they're burning oil. The fact that the lights stayed on is what matters, Toby. But it just seems insane to think that we have to go to oil, because last time I checked, not a lot of pump jacks operating up there in the Granite State.
And they don't need to be operating in the Granite State, because guess what? We've got the biggest gas field in the world right next door in Pennsylvania. And we've got plenty of natural gas to send that way to Massachusetts, so we don't have to be spending 6 times more for our electricity. So we don't have to be using higher emissions fuel to do basic things like create electricity. We can use clean burning, cleanly produced natural gas sourced right here in America. And it's an amazing solution. And we can deliver this energy. All they need to do is build that pipeline, or let us build it, and we'll build it to them and give them the cheapest energy in the country.
And people come after me and they said, oh, so you're just pushing fossil fuels. Let's be clear on what's going on here. You can make the argument that we shouldn't use any fossil fuels for the planet. Fine. That's a different argument. What I'm having you on to talk about, what the honest conversation we need to have, is that you can talk all about renewables you want, but when we're burning oil and trash and trees to make sure the light and heat comes on, people I don't think realize this, Toby, and the fact that a lot of that is going to be imported by ship. That is a far less green option than piping it in from where you are.
Absolutely. And it's got people scared about their electricity and whether that's even going to come on. I think we need to take a step back and think about, what are we really trying to do with this energy transition? And it starts by using the best fuel possible. And it's crazy to me to think that we've got the best source of energy to create electricity. It's the cheapest, most reliable, and cleanest form to produce electricity. That's natural gas. But instead of building pipelines, we are accepting burning oil and trash. It clearly, there's a better way, and that's what we need to focus on. And you step back and you look around solutions around the world. If you care about climate change, if you care about emissions, look at the biggest source of emissions on the planet, and that's foreign coal. And guess what? Natural gas can replace that as well. And in doing so, we would make a meaningful bite out of lowering the biggest source of emissions on the planet, where almost 50% of our emissions come from coal. So they're really simple solutions that we can put into play. We have the resource right here. We just need to make these things happen.
The reason I've been on the story is because when I look at the data, and I don't want to go after specific parties or specific politicians, but when I hear people talk about the energy future, and then I look at the data of what's actually going on, and I even look at the projections from the IEA, which is extremely pro-renewables, I don't see anything that is telling me that we're not going to be using nat gas or oil in the next couple of decades. And yet when you listen to specific things, there are people I've met, very smart people, Toby, who think it's going to be 100% windmills in like 3 years. And I'm thinking the light and heat won't come on.
Yeah, it's probably one of the biggest misunderstandings is when we hear people think that we have the answers with solar and wind. Clearly, we do not. Europe has put themselves in a very terrible predicament because of their over-reliance on solar and wind. They can be good technologies, but you need to have a steady baseload of cheap, reliable power gen that's going to come from fuels like natural gas. And so I think we talked about it last time, but the world is not ready to make that move. And just in the last 12 months, solar and wind's inability to meet the world demand for energy has caused coal emissions to skyrocket over 500 million tons, and that's wiped out every single benefit that we've received from solar and wind installations here in the United States in the last 15 years.
This was
so
our
one
RBI,
year of not addressing.
This is our RBI the other day. The world has never used more coal than this year. I mean, hard to believe, but we've never, even in the United States, coal use was up. It just seems insane. But when you have a growing population that wants to live in a big house with heat or air conditioning, that's what you get. Toby Rice of EQT, really appreciate it. Tough conversation, but that's the reality.